So we here at AIHCE all know who you are, but please do tell us who you are and what you do.
Hi, I'm John Howard, and I have the pleasure of working with about 2,000 other colleagues at the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health.
Fantastic. You brought up a really interesting notion today about safe companies being potentially better investments. Can you talk about that a little more?
Sure. You know, there's a bit of a literature on this, actually published this year in the Journal of Occupational Environmental Medicine, the January issue, where there's a couple studies looking at companies who have safety records, obviously, and comparing their performance in terms of their stock performance, their investment profile. And it turns out that companies that do invest in their workers, in the health of their workers, and the safety of their workers, actually do better. They perform better as business entities. So it's an interesting thing to follow. And I think, you know, we're always talking about, well, how do we get companies to do better in safety and health? And I think one of the incentives may be that you may get more investors if you are a safer company. So I think it's something that all of us should be aware of and maybe look into.
Are we going to be looking at kind of a consumer reports rating for companies that would help investors make better choices?
I think so. You know, I think there's a number of folks at AIHA, ASSE, National Safety Council, that are starting to look at these sort of sustainability indices, you know. And one of the things is, are they a safe company? And then there's sustainability, which is a very big thing on Wall Street now. Sustainability in terms of, you know, companies' performance is extremely important. We've heard a lot about it, you know, in terms of greenness, you know, but I think now we're adding safety and health to that sustainability mix, and I think it's a very exciting thing for all of us to look into.
We talk a lot about work-life balance. How does that apply to worker safety and really integrating the two?
Well, you know, we have a program at NIOSH called Total Worker Health, and we think that our individual health, your health and my health, relates to how well we do at work. So if we're really not very healthy, maybe our diet is not real healthy, our exercise is not really healthy, we have other issues, we're not getting enough sleep, and we're coming into work maybe a little too fatigued, etc. Could affect our judgment, our concentration, our ability to do the job, and then it could affect the productivity of the enterprise that we're a part of, and the economic performance. So, you know, we're trying to get everybody, employers and workers, to look at that issue. But we're also saying, look, very important, these factors of work can affect worker health. It's not just, you know, what you do as a person to improve your health, but rather what is work doing to you? For instance, work hours are getting longer, work is getting intensified, there's more shift work, for instance. So how are those factors of work affecting your health? So employers need to look at that too. There's a lot of wellness programs out there, and you know, wellness we think needs to include what the work is doing to someone's health. Not just, you know, are you eating enough carrots, are you eating your vegetables, etc. Is your blood pressure under control? Blood pressure can also be affected by your work. Stress at work causes increased blood pressure. So Total Worker Health is looking at all of those things. Wellness sort of doesn't look at those work-related factors.
So interesting. All right, a room full of field experts today. People can really contribute to the emerging field of worker safety. You had some guidance and instructions for them today to please participate. What would you say to them, if you could, about what they should go home and do now?
Look up all of these consensus standards organizations. Call up ANSI, find out, you know, all of the committees they have. They have numerous committees on many issues. Decide where you could contribute, because you have the knowledge from the field, as you say, from the practice side. And a lot of these committees that NIOSH scientists participate on, we lack some of those practitioner voices. So there's always a role for you. Even if you don't think you're the world's expert, participate in some of those committees. Consensus standard setting is extremely important.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.